Welcome to the Darren Well podcast with Rita Mercer. When you think of relationships, does it feel scary to trust? Does it feel hard to feel open and vulnerable? Have you ever wondered what it actually feels like to let your guard down? Like to let your guard down and feel safe, to feel truly safe, like emotionally and physically, in your mind and in your body? Do you know what that feels like? Do you know what it feels like to trust without feeling anxious or without overthinking? Do you know what it feels like to be able to express yourself without the need to feel fearful of being abandoned or being rejected? Well, in today's episode, we're going to talk about secure attachment. So, we're continuing our series on the healing attachment wounds, and this is our fourth part of the series. So, secure attachment is what is found in healthy relationships. For many listening today, this could be a growth opportunity. So, no shame, no guilt, just opportunities to grow and heal. Just as unhealthy relationship patterns are learned, you can also rewire your mind, your body, and your nervous system for healthy relationships. Because if you know better, you can do better and you can live better. So I'm so excited. Welcome back. Welcome back to today's episode. As we set our heart's intention for this week's episode, I hope that you walk away with a clear understanding of what secure attachment really looks like. I hope that you walk away with insight to know how secure attachment feels in your mind and in your body. And my biggest hope for you today is that starting today, you can start to let go of the weight of all the past hurts, all the past pains, all the shortcomings that's happened in your relationships, and that you can start to give yourself grace so you can feel the joy, the deep, sweet, beautiful, abiding joy and safety of healthy relationships. The truth is, healing, it's not about achieving perfection. It's all about finding safety and trust within yourself. So before we get into the secure attachment style, let's just take a quick moment just to refresh ourselves on what we've already learned in this series on attachment styles. So we've talked about fearful avoidant, we've talked about dismissive avoidant, and we've talked about anxious avoidant. So for the fearful avoidant, the core fear is both abandonment and intimacy. It shows up in relationships with this push and pull dynamic where you crave closeness and intimacy in relationships, but at the same time, you also fear it. This relationship pattern, it stems from childhood where the caregiver is often inconsistent or with their caregiving, or there's moments of trauma. With dismissive avoidant, the core fear is losing independence and feeling like you're going to be controlled. So this shows up in relationships with this I don't need anyone type of energy. And people with dismissive avoidant attachment style are emotionally distant. They're guarded, they're self-protective, and they often feel disconnected in relationships with this fear of being vulnerable. The anxious attachment style, those with the anxious attachment style often seek validation and reassurance from others. They feel anxious and overanalyze and replay thoughts and scenarios over and over in their head. They may even feel unsafe and not even confident in relationships. So as we sum all of these up, here's the truth. Most of us don't live in just one box. We have so many life and lived experiences from childhood to adulthood that shape who we are, that shape how we show up, and that shape how we relate to ourselves and to how we relate with others. So this doesn't necessarily mean that we need to label our parents or our caregivers or our past friends or our past partners as bad, like quote unquote bad. We don't have to do that. But what we can do is learn to live in a healthy way. Again, the truth is we are all wired for survival. So looking at all of these attachment styles, it just simply means that we learn to cope and survive in situations where we didn't feel like we had our basic needs being met. So today, we're going to take a look forward and look at what secure, healthy attachment is. We can look for growth opportunities in today's episode so we can challenge these unhealthy relationship patterns and so we can find ways to heal our old wounds. So how does secure attachments form? Secure attachments, they begin in environments where the caregivers are both physically and emotionally available. It's also in spaces where the child feels like their needs are responded to on a consistent basis, where their emotions are validated and not dismissed. I don't know if you've ever heard the saying that kids are to be seen and not heard. You ever heard of that? Kids are to be seen and not heard. And it's just a dismissive way of telling you to be quiet, telling you to be in your place and to stay in your place. But in secure attachments, caregivers create space for you to be seen and to be heard. And when conflict happens, because that's just a normal part of healthy relationships, that repair is what follows. This repair could look like a change in terms of actions, a change in terms of language, so language physically or language verbally. For many, this is where they feel stuck with how do they repair after conflict. And as adults, they just fear conflict and they run away and shy away from conflict because of this learned behavior of seeing this play out in childhood and seeing how that doesn't really go in their favor. And so during childhood, a kid quickly learns. In a secure attachment, they quickly learn that my needs do matter. In secure attachments, they learn that people are safe. In secure attachments, children learn that I am worthy of love. And you quickly learn to adapt when these things are not being met and when those things are not present. So you quickly learn when you don't feel like your needs matter. You quickly learn when you don't feel like people are not safe. You quickly learn, so when they're not safe emotionally, when they're not safe physically, you quickly learn those things. You also quickly learn what it means to not feel worthy of love. You know how people make you feel, and you know what it feels like to feel worthy of love. And when you don't feel worthy. Now, if you notice that one or more of these things, as we're talking today, that some of these may have been missing from your childhood, that's okay. That means it doesn't mean that you're broken. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that you have the power to heal your inner child. So the beautiful part about secure attachment is that secure attachments, it can be learned. But healing and that process only happens in safety. So safety in healthy relationships where you feel safe to feel seen and heard. Safety where there's healing that happens through self-reflection, healing that happens through self-awareness. So being open and honest to self-reflect. through intentional practices of being mindful, giving yourself grace, and loving kindness. At the root of secure attachment are the core truths of I am worthy of love and respect. I can trust others while trusting myself. I can have autonomy, and I could find safety in being close and vulnerable with others. It also means that conflict doesn't mean rejection or abandonment. And another core truth with secure attachments is my needs and my feelings are valid. So people who have a secure attachment in relationships, they don't work to earn their worthiness, to earn love, to earn validation. So it's not this cocky type of bravado, but it's this quiet confidence in the truth of who you are, quiet confidence in your worth, in just your identity and your being. People with secure attachment, they understand fully that love can be consistent, love can be predictable, and love can feel both calm and safe. Now, let's shift gears to what it looks like for the emotional and the somatic landscape. So, somatic is things within our body. So, as we think about secure attachment, I want you to think about healing. It's not just emotional, it's not just cognitive, it's somatic. Secure attachment, it often feels like this moment of where you know the difference from when your body is feeling fearful, anxious, or guarded. But you also know when your body feels calm, when it feels grounded, when you're in a safe and a healthy environment and relationship. Your nervous system knows. Your nervous system knows what it feels like to be dysregulated, to feel off, to feel out of balance, out of sync. And your nervous system also knows what it feels like to feel regulated. Even in moments where it's stressful or it's things that are unknown. In those moments where you feel stressed or there's moments of uncertainty, do you feel open or do you shut down and disconnect? In stressful and certain moments, do you prefer to feel present or do you pull back and become hyper vigilant and get on guard and on edge? These are things that you can notice within your body of when you're regulated and calm in your body or when you're dysregulated. In the body, you may notice a relaxed and controlled breathing. In your body, if you're in a secure attachment, you may notice less tension in your chest, in your stomach, in your shoulders, or even your jaw and face muscles. You may also notice in your body this confidence of feeling that I am okay, even when things are not perfect, even when things are not going according to plan, even when the future feels uncertain, even when there's so many unknowns. Many people do a really good job of masking how they feel within their nervous system. But believe me, when you hold it in, it eventually comes out. It overflows in so many areas and at so many unpleasant times. So those with a healthy, secure attachment, it's not that they don't have stress, not that they don't have anxiety or fear. It's but they know how to release the pressure. That pressure valve, they know how to tap in with their coping skills, to tap in with a consistent self-care plan to maintain balance. This is what a healthy nervous system should look like. In adult relationships, secure attachments, it can show up as clear and honest communication. Even if conflict does arise, there always is going to be a path forward to heal and to repair. In adult relationships, there's an ability to express your needs without this fear and the weight of fear and guilt. There's also healthy boundaries without guilt. There's trust without the need to seek out constant reassurance or validation. And there's secure, and it's also in secure attachment. It's not codependent. It finds comfort with the need for both closeness in relationships and space. So we need the balance of both closeness and space. Securely attached individuals, they feel confident in their truth without feeling like it's taken away from the relationship. It may look like I can care about you and I can also care about myself. So one does not negate the other. I can care about you and I do care about you and I also care about myself. Those with secure attachments, they don't lose themselves and their sense of identity in relationships. They don't get wrapped up into codependent behaviors. So as we start to wrap up, let's talk about the next steps for how to move forward toward a healthy, secure attachment. Because this is where true healing is actually happening. It looks like building self-trust, looks like regulating your nervous system, practicing healthy, secure behaviors, reframing your negative beliefs, and choosing safe and healthy relationships. So let's take a moment just to break some of that down. So building self-trust, that looks like learning to listen and trust your inner voice. That's that inner knowing. And it's not about betraying yourself. So don't betray yourself, but set healthy boundaries and follow through on small promises that you make to yourself. So don't make a promise to yourself and break it. Like, don't lie to, if you're going to lie to anybody, like, don't lie to yourself. The second one, regulate your nervous system. Healing happens when your body feels safe. Safe to take down the guard, safe to take down the walls. Tune into your body with mindfulness, with breath work, with gentle movement, with rest, and with self-care. Hey, you're welcome to connect with me for one-on-one coaching support if you need some support. I teach vagal tone exercises. I teach mindset strategies, all to help you to learn how to manage all your stress levels, any fears, any worries, and ways to learn to regulate your nervous system. And you can connect with me at info@darrenwell.com. You can connect with me on the website, darrenwell.com. But yeah, I'd be happy to support you. The third one is practicing healthy, secure behaviors. So practice makes perfect. Even if it feels unfamiliar or if it feels like a foreign concept, just get started and plant the seed, dare to plant the seed for healthy behaviors. It all starts with a desire for change. You have to be willing and open to change. You also need to be open and honest and direct with yourself and with others when you communicate. And don't be fearful to ask for what you need and to share what you have as expectations for your relationships without fear of guilt or fear of rejection or abandonment. In moments of uncertainty or stress, choose to pause. Choose to pause instead of reacting. Sometimes that's all we need is just a mindful pause so that you can help to reset, to give yourself a better perspective and more clarity. Number 4, reframe your beliefs. Challenge your negative thoughts. So instead of thinking they're going to leave, choose to believe that I can do hard things and I can handle the next step when it comes. Number 5, choose safe relationships. So with this last one, I want you just to remember healing our relationship wounds. It happens when you're in a safe place. When you're in a safe place physically, emotionally, relationally, and consistently. You need all of those things to be able to heal and grow. Please know that each attachment style, it's not a flaw. It's simply our mind and our body's way that it's learned to protect us. So secure attachment, it's not about never feeling triggered, because we're all human. It's just part of the human experience. And we're going to have many times in our lifetime where we're going to encounter stress, we're going to encounter fear, where we're going to encounter uncertainty in our relationships. The difference with secure attachment is you know how to reset, and you know how to repair, and you know how to return back to what's healthy and to what's safe. Secure attachment, it's about choosing you. Choosing you consistently, over and over, again and again. And remembering, healing doesn't mean being perfect, because none of us are perfect. And it's not about trying to be somebody brand new. Secure attachment, it means coming home to who you've always been, beneath all the fear, beneath all the failure, rejection, or abandonment. If this episode was a blessing to you, please do me a huge favor and share it with someone who really needs a friendly reminder to continue their healing journey. And as always, thank you so much for being part of the Darren Well community. I'm so grateful that you stopped by today. Until next time, keep living, keep loving, and keep daring well. Take care, my dear. God bless. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of the Daring Well podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode and want to continue exploring the world of holistic wellness, be sure to subscribe to the Daring Well podcast so you never miss an episode filled with transformative conversations and actionable advice. Thank you again for being part of the Daring Well podcast community. Together, let's dare to live well in mind, body, and spirit.